What would you do if one day you're diagnosed with a terminal illness so rare that the doctors say it's probably going to be named after you? Well, this is Kim Isak's life right now. He's only got 6 months left to live. Tops. The world just blurs out. His mind is reeling. He doesn't even notice that the light just turned red. Bro doesn't care, his life's over anyway. Get out of the way, idiot, someone yells and shoves him away, saving him from Truck-kun. Just can't catch a break, huh? Especially today, of all days, because he just won the lottery jackpot. Can't make this up, even if we tried. He collapses onto the street, clutching his winning ticket. He does not want to die. Desperately pleads for anyone or anything to help him. Well, folks, the good news is his prayers were answered. The bad news? He gets reincarnated into a big, bad, bald skeleton in hell. And he hates this stupid body. He can't even feel anything. It's just bones and armor. His emo moment can wait because it's go time. A pack of hell beasts charges at him. He slices through them easily. Another huge monster rushes him. He just grins and slices its head off. The final fiery blast, the last monster is dead. Extermination complete. Folks, this was Kim Isak's second life. He started out as a low-class skeleton and grinded his way to the top, evolving into an undead lich. Now he's the demon world's undying king, loved and adored by all demonkind. Give him a fist bump, yo. All that adoration makes him blush. All hail King Isak, they cheer. You idiots, he suddenly yells. You're saying it wrong. My name is Isak, not Isak. After several centuries, they can't get that one thing right. But whatever, time to bust out of this joint and collect what he's owed. Fast forward to the divine realm where everyone is in shock as Isak tosses a demon head to the floor. He faces the council of 5 gods seated on their golden thrones. Okay, people, deal's a deal. I took care of the demon realm. Now make me human, he orders. Gods murmur, shocked he finished a 500-year job so quickly. What a nut job. But folks, turns out that these gods were just scamming him for free labor. They never really thought he would finish the job, you know. Losing his patience, he slams his fist down. I did everything you asked, you clowns. Why are you dragging this out? Lead god just smiles and asks if Isak could do just one more tiny thing for them. Isak goes into rage mode. They must think he is as empty-headed as his skull looks. But he is not a pushover. He erupts in a storm of dark power, screaming at them for daring to use him. Yeah, go get those scumbags, Isak. I think he noticed the scam, one of them whispers. Isak roars, if you lousy scrubs don't turn me into a human right now. The gods are in a panic, begging for more time. It is too late. He gathers energy. Yeah, they'll pay for their broken promise with their lives. He unleashes the attack, laughing maniacally. Time for you all to become skulls, just like me. The gods scream as the devastating power consumes them. But just as his victory seems certain, the energy in his hand fizzles out. His mana is fading, and his body is completely paralyzed. He can only stand there, helpless. The leader of the gods approaches with a smug smile. He holds up a strange glowing trinket. He explains that whoever's name is written on it is completely paralyzed. Close-up reveals a bug, crackling with energy. It has Isak's demon lord name carved into its back. The gods call this their ultimate sealing technique, banish disaster. Now that they have the upper hand, they rag him for daring to defy them. His punishment? He gets reincarnated as this bug. Seriously, he's a baldy again? Why couldn't they have picked a fuzzy caterpillar this time? Ugh. Suddenly, the insect thing bursts into bright light, but Isak is cackling. You numbskulls. His entire body begins to glow. You should have been quicker at it. The gods panic, reaching out and screaming for him to stop. It is too late. His final message echoes through the divine realm. Eat dust, you pathetic scrubs. A blast tears through the gods' sacred hall, vaporizing everything in its path. The gods are thrown back, completely stunned. He's self-destructed. Is he insane? But in the rubble, they spot the bug on the floor. Did the spell work? A red-haired god stares at the twitching thing. Yup, looks like they were able to seal him inside. Everyone's happy because every time a demon disappears, they grow stronger. It's party time, yo. Later, they're all talking, and they agree that they can't let another disaster like Isak happen. The leader declares a new plan. He will create a perfect vessel, a saint in the human realm. This saint's purpose? To exterminate every last demon there is. He orders the others to find a proper soul for the saint's body. As for the insolent skeleton, the god picks up the bug with a sinister smile. I will torture him as a bug for all eternity. Meanwhile, in the darkness of his mind, Isak is still butthurt that he got conned by the gods. Suddenly, everything gets bright. He tries to cover his eyes, but hold up. He doesn't have bug arms. He has cute little chubby hands. Huh, did he actually become a human baby? Did those gods mess up the spell? What a bunch of losers. Just then, a woman's voice cries out, oh my, the saint has opened his eyes. Isak is baffled. Saint? The nanny coos at him, but the man beside her mutters it would have been better if he had just kept sleeping. Isak processes the situation. He really became human, and these must be his nannies, but something feels seriously off. Nanny's expressions suddenly turn cold. My apologies, Holy One, but we have our jobs to do. The man holds up a baby bottle filled with a glowing, ominous liquid. We need you to fall back asleep. forever. What the heck? He literally just died, and now he's just gonna die again? The shady Manny is getting closer, holding up the bottle with a menacing grin. But before the Manny could shove it into his mouth, Yisak turns away. Nuh-uh. None of that for him, thank you very much. Nanny totally freaks. Why aren't you eating it? After all that grinding to become human, he's definitely not chugging that sus liquid. He's trying to figure out how he even got here when suddenly, one of them calls out his name. Sir Isaac.
Wait a minute. Did that bro just call him Isaac?
The mind flashes back to how his demon minions always mispronounced his name, calling him Isaac instead of Yisak. Did that stupid god seriously misspell his real name when he did the spell? That has to be it. The seal failed because of a typo, and now he got reincarnated into a new body with the same name. Oh man, he's thinking about the god's epic fail and can't help but roar with laughter. Wrong move, buddy. The Manny sees the opening and sticks the bottle in his mouth. Oops. The nannies hold him down, force-feeding him. The dude's screaming, "Help me. Why is this baby so strong?"
A foul-tasting liquid floods his mouth. He thinks, are you trying to unalive me with this garbage?
He's got no choice but to chug down the liquid while the evil nannies look on.
Meanwhile, at the Holy Empire Hellas Central East Temple, an elderly bishop strolls through the halls, his aide trailing behind.
He chuckles, thinking the baby saint should be totally gone right about now.
Suddenly a voice cuts in. You seem lively, Bishop. An imposing figure, arms crossed, blocks his path. It's the Emperor of the Holy Empire Hella, Alexander Heathcliff Hella. The bishop and his crew immediately bow, greeting the Empire's son. The Emperor coolly asks what business they even have there. With a smug smile, the bishop explains they're here to greet the saint candidate, saying the Holy See must be present for such matters. The Emperor's eyes narrow. You make it sound like a burden, being present just because it's the saint. He presses further. Wouldn't it be a major problem if something went wrong with the saint again under the Holy See's care? Just then, a terrified scream echoes down the hall, instantly cutting the tension. A panicked voice cries out, "The young master?" The Emperor immediately bolts down the hallway.
He throws open the nursery doors, demanding to know what happened. A maid is looking utterly shocked. The young master.
The Emperor's face twists with dread, bracing for the absolute worst.
The young master is too cute, she exclaims. The maids are fawning over the baby. Oh, look at that angelic face. One of them even notes in amazement that he's already downed 15 bottles of the tasteless vegetable juice. Yes, that juice. The bishop can't believe it. The baby is still alive after drinking that much.
His mind races, because that was not just vegetable juice. A few minutes ago, as Yisak was being force-fed, he felt that ominous energy entering his body. At first, he thought this was the end, but then he realized what the substance truly was. Holy poison. It's a poison that destroys holy power, slowly building up until it's deadly. However, there's a massive catch. This poison is made from demon mana. For a former demon king, it's the perfect, delicious meal. Giving mana made from demons to a demon like him, that's not feeding the enemy, that's catering. He decides he's going to eat up all this delicious mana baby food. So he started crying for more bottles, and the nannies, thinking he was just a hungry baby, were totally played. They happily obliged, thinking the poison will just accumulate faster. Big brain moves, right? Nice. The mana absorption is perfect. Whoever made this stuff, they totally nailed it. Alright then, with his body fully charged with mana, he knows exactly what to do next. He closes his eyes and dives into the world beyond his conscious mind. The unconscious world. He travels to its deepest part, the very source of his being. Here, in this safe inner world, he'll create a mana core. He focuses, gathering all the mana he just absorbed. He needs a mana core to use magic later, so this is crucial. But something's wrong. Is this a mana explosion? He stares in confusion. A mana core is supposed to be one of the 3 primary colors, so why is his white? But the color isn't the real problem. The sheer amount of power in this tiny newly formed core is unbelievable.
This is beyond all his expectations.
Red lightning crackles around the newly formed core. He wonders just how many blessings were crammed into this tiny body. If he keeps this up, he might just become a much greater monster than he ever imagined.
Back in reality, he decides to play it cool. Can't look sus, so it's time to act like an innocent, clueless baby.
He puts on his best, most adorable smile, ready to charm. The bishop, however, is not amused. He glares at the baby, internally cursing, what in the world is with this little demon? He was expecting the baby to be dying, coughing up blood, but instead he's just smiling. The bishop tries to keep his cool, forcing a smile as he stares down at the baby who just ruined his entire plan. But then the realization hits him. This baby is laughing at him. Openly mocked by an infant, the bishop is absolutely livid. Bro is tilted.
Let's hit rewind for a sec. A few days prior, the church bigwigs were already on the move. See, there's this prophecy that says whoever becomes saint will possess the Holy Empire. And since then, all the noble families trying to push their own kids as saint candidates. So annoying, says this long-haired dude. The bishop's like, don't worry, boss, I've handled all the other contenders. But the long-haired dude is not happy. He's heard a rumor that there's a saint candidate from House Eshua. The bishop nervously reminds him, House Eshua is the emperor's right hand. Nothing he can do about that. The cardinal hurls his crumpled goblet to the ground. Oh, he's probably dead by now, he mutters.
Bro had already pulled the trigger to eliminate the rival. He just needed the bishop to confirm the kill. With a sinister grin, he declares the true saint must come from his own family, House Barit.
Okay, rewind over. Back in the present, the bishop is absolutely losing it. He was promised a dead kid, but instead, this baby is thriving.
Emperor Alexander leans over the crib, finding the whole drama interesting.
He gently touches the baby's hair. It's platinum blonde, just like the Holy Empire's founder. Yisak realizes this dude is the emperor. The emperor sizes him up. This little guy looks more divine than the actual pope. He must be the final saint candidate. Wait, hold up. The brain cell finally connects for Yisak. He's a saint candidate? That explains all the saint this, saint that drama.
The bishop watches, grimacing. The emperor is totally vibing with the baby, and the bishop knows he needs to stop this as soon as possible.
Steps forward, fake smile plastered on, asking to inspect the child. He insists something's off, like, no normal baby eats that much. But the emperor just shrugs it off. What's wrong with a saint candidate eating holy food? He's right, yo. Meanwhile, Yisak is gloating over the irony. The Demon King is a saint candidate. Suddenly, Yisak burps and a small puff of purple demonic energy escapes. Oopsie.
He's busted. He's absolutely busted. The bishop looms over the crib, eyes narrowed. He tells the emperor he just sensed demonic energy coming from the kid. A sinister, knowing smile spreads across his face. Bingo. He's found his excuse. Yisak stares in horror. The old man actually noticed his dark mana. Sheesh. The bishop concludes this baby is a fraud and demands an inquisitor get on it immediately. He reveals the pope already picked his saint, a kid from House Barit. The emperor fumes, realizing the pope is shamelessly trying to push his family's candidate onto the throne. And just like that, it all clicks for Yisak. That's why this dude is so desperate to get him out of the picture. The bishop scoops the baby out of the crib, ready to make his next play. Wait, the emperor raises a hand, voice firm. He reminds the bishop that House Eshua are tight allies and strongly suggests he back off for now. The bishop reluctantly agrees, but you know he's not done cooking. He casually drops a bomb. The pope's delaying the crown prince's ceremony until after the saint is chosen. Pure political chess. This is straight up blackmail. The pope won't recognize the emperor's son unless he gets his saint selection. Watching this whole clown show, Yisak is furious at these petty political games. Honestly, he could care less about being a saint candidate. It's way too risky with his Demon King identity on the line. The bishop sees his opening. We can just inspect the child now, he suggests, using the holy exorcism art. He declares if the baby's truly human, he'll be fine. But if he's a demon...
Before he can even finish, Yisak smashes the baby bottle square in his face in a burst of bright golden light. The blow was so hard it even sent a tooth or two flying. Yisak unleashes a barrage of baby talk, which means, take that, you son of a witch. Maybe, probably. The bishop can't believe a baby bottle could hit so hard. Everyone is stunned by the brilliant flash of light. They're convinced it's holy power, meaning he must be the real saint. But Yisak isn't done yet. He starts wailing on the bishop with the glowing bottle, babbling insults only he understands. Get wrecked!
The bishop, getting absolutely bodied, suddenly realizes what he's feeling. This is definitely mana. The emperor, however, is ecstatic, marveling at the brilliant light show. Yisak buffs the bottle with strengthening magic for one last hit, keeping his innocent baby facade intact. He brings the reinforced bottle down on the bishop's head as a guard cluelessly comments, "Wow, the bishop must be admiring the baby's power." As he fights, Yisak notices something wild. Every time he uses mana, he also feels a faint trace of holy power.
He knows these two energies are supposed to be incompatible and suspects it's linked to that strange white mana core he found earlier.
Suddenly, the absolutely pummeled bishop's eyes snap open with a horrified realization. He screams, "This baby is a heretic."
Yisak gives the bishop a look of pure contempt. "You slimy clown," he thinks. He didn't plan on this much chaos, but whatever. Uh-oh, what is he about to do now?
As if on cue, a terrifying demonic presence erupts in the room. We're talking a massive shadow lich just materialized out of thin air, shocking literally everyone. The emperor, absolutely raging, snaps at the bishop. "What in the holy name are you doing? You let a demon loose in the temple?" But the bishop, frantic as heck, points a shaky finger at the baby. "Didn't you see? The baby threw the totem." Emperor Alexander ignores the bishop's wild accusations like, nope. He orders his forces protect the young lord from this demon beast and the bishop. Instantly, an imperial knight scoops Izak up, whisking him away from the absolutely stunned bishop. The bishop is utterly dumbfounded, muttering, "How could this even be?" Meanwhile, Izak peeks over the knight's shoulder with a smug grin, thinking, "Joke's on you, you absolute fool." Safe in his guard's arms, Izak sizes up the whole situation. Let's see how good this bishop really is. The knights, swords drawn, surround the Shadow Lich. A sinister whisper fills the air. A pure, murderous aura pulses from the Lich, like seriously dark energy. Then, the demon's voice crescendos into a monstrous roar. Kill the saint. Isaac, the actual target, just blinks in confusion. Huh? The Lich lunges forward, a blur of purple and black energy, aiming straight for Isaac. More knights instantly jump in front, shouting, "Protect the young lord." Talk about stepping up. They heard young lord and said, "Bet we ride at dawn." Isaac is just totally annoyed. What is wrong with that thing? I saved its life, so why is it attacking me?
Still, he's not super worried. He figures the paladins can totally handle this. Easy peasy. Whoops. Spoke way too soon. The paladin gets instantly thrown back, collapsing to the floor. Is he really a paladin? Like, for real? The Lich barrels forward, screaming, "Kill the saint." As another knight is sent flying, Isaac just sighs. Looks like he'll have to deal with this himself.
He figures with all this chaos, no one will even notice if he whips out some magic. Time to get sneaky. He really thinks he'll about to run magic in incognito mode. As the Lich screams "die" and lunges again, Isaac is seriously fed up. Why is everyone trying to kill me in this life? My stats are not even maxed. He glares at the creature, thinking, trying to kill me when I literally revitalized you. Bruh. His eyes flash a brilliant, menacing red. Not good. A powerful, overwhelming aura bursts from the baby. It projects the image of a terrifying, armored skeleton king. You foolish demon kind. The Shadow Lich freezes in absolute terror, recognizing that presence. Skeleton king?
With that dark aura, Isaac's hand starts to glow brightly.
Instead of demonic energy, a brilliant wave of golden holy power erupts from his body. Plot twist much? Emperor Alexander can only stare, completely caught off guard. Bro is shook. The holy light engulfs the Shadow Lich, which recoils, screaming in agony as its dark form just dissolves.
Badly wounded, the demon beast makes a break for it, crashing through a nearby door to escape.
The knights are in awe. That was definitely holy power, wasn't it? Young Lord Isaac just drove a greater demon out. This kid's got main character energy.
Gather around, praising the baby. Amazing. At such a young age, as expected of the young lord. Isaac looks at his tiny glowing hands. What is this? This really is holy power? But then he realizes something's totally wrong. I've run out of mana.
He comes to a horrifying conclusion. Could it be that this strange body is turning my mana into holy power? No way. He internally panics. Wait, how am I supposed to accumulate mana then? The Holy Empire is already mana-starved. This is a serious debuff. The bishop is still screaming his accusations. That baby is a heretic that uses the powers of demon kind. How dare you crawl into the Holy Empire? He pleads with the Emperor one last time. Your Majesty, I will prove it. I will uncover his real identity with an exorcism. But the Emperor's voice is ice cold. That's enough, Bishop.
How dare you accuse an innocent saint candidate? Not only that, but you let a greater demon loose right in front of my Imperial Knights. His voice drops to a dangerous whisper. I absolutely will not let this matter go, even if you are from the Holy See. Understand? The bishop realizes he's totally cornered. If the Emperor gets suspicious, the Holy See is in deep trouble.
He makes a final, desperate choice. To save his family, he's got to take matters into his own hands. Time for some desperate measures. A murderous glint appears in his eyes. That's why I must at least kill the saint candidate of House Eshwa. A massive golden wolf spirit erupts from his body. He's going all out. The glowing beast leaps through the air, charging directly at Isaac, full speed ahead. Isaac just rolls his eyes. This slimy clown, finally showing his true colors. He scoffs, thinking, does he really think he can kill me with something like this? Dude, please.
Then it hits him. Wait, I don't have any mana left. This is a major oopsie.
Just as the wolf is about to connect, a flash of brilliant blue light slices through the air. What a last-minute save. The timing, cinematic, Oscar-worthy. The energy intercepts the golden wolf, stopping its attack dead in its tracks, like totally frozen. A cold, powerful voice rings out. Who dares try to lay their hand on the direct lineage of Eshwa? A group of knights clad in blue uniforms stride into the room. It's the Eshwa Knights, making an entrance.
Leading them is Relai Eshwa, seventh son of House Eshwa. Without a moment's hesitation, Relai points at the bishop and gives a chilling order. Execute the bishop immediately. No chill, literally. The bishop struggles, yelling, don't you dare lay your dirty Ishua hands on me. Isaac's eyes widen. That name, he's heard it before. But Relai just tells the bishop, show your manners. Suddenly, all the Eshua Knights drop to one knee, greeting their new young master in perfect unison. Super dramatic, super impressive. Relai looks down at the baby and says, sorry we're late, Isaac. Isaac is seriously impressed. These guys are way better than the Imperial Knights. It's not much, Relai says with a smile, but we've brought a little present for you. Hope it's not another meme coin. He pulls out a small, covered object. Isaac wonders if it's a gold bar. Or maybe some new gear.
The knight proudly presents the gift. It's a figurine of the Skeleton King being beheaded. Bet that's gonna go over well.
Isaac, the actual Skeleton King, can only stare. As the knight's fanboy over their saint, bro's already over it. How's he gonna survive this cringe fest? But then, a name drops that actually jogs his memory. Eshwa. Wait a minute. Oh right, he remembers. The saintess who literally came to end him. The one who spearheaded the whole Divine Realm raid. And guess what? Every single one of them, generation after generation, came from this exact family. Horrible, awkward truth hits him like a truck. He's not just a saint candidate, he's been reborn into the family of his absolute arch-nemesis. Talk about a plot twist. As his new family fawns over him, all Isaac can think is, seriously, these Ishuas are bugging me. Meanwhile, that disgraced bishop is still having a full-blown meltdown. He's screaming about how the Eshuas are heretics. No chill, this guy. He vows to expose baby Isaac's true identity, calling him a monster. Oh, the drama. The bishop keeps going, but Relai isn't about that. He draws his sword with zero hesitation. Before the bishop can even finish his sentence, bam, a flash of steel. Instant silence. Relai stands over the body, giving him a cold lecture. He tells the bishop to be grateful his head is still attached. Savage. Isaac, ever the strategist, is kinda impressed. This dude just bodied a bishop from the Holy See. This Relai guy could be pretty useful, actually. But then another knight starts cooing over him, completely interrupting his master plan. Yeah, these people are definitely unhinged. He suddenly remembers these blue Eshuas. These guys are seriously strong. Like endgame bosses strong. Yeah, his old crew had every right to freak out when these blue knights showed up. It all makes sense now. The Emperor, who's been watching this whole wild show, walks over to Relai. Drops a bombshell. The Imperial Palace wants to raise the kid. Say what now? Relai just scoffs, thinking it's a joke. But Isaac? He perks up. Is he getting scouted by the Imperial Palace? But the Emperor is dead serious. He warns that everyone will be hunting this kid. Can House Eshua really protect him? It's a fair question. Relai goes silent. The Emperor's words hit different, and the weight of the situation sinks in. The Emperor keeps going, explaining that even the Pope will be against the kid because of his hair color. Apparently, it's a whole thing. And for the cherry on top, the Emperor says the Skeleton King is after the baby. Isaac is absolutely flabbergasted. Bro, he is the Skeleton King. This is getting meta. But Relai is firm. He apologizes, but straight up says the kid is Eshua blood. They'll raise him, period. He scoops Isaac up, confident. As for the Skeleton King, Relai declares, Eshua can handle it. Relai then drops another bomb. The previous saintess, Melissa, would actually be stoked to meet the Skeleton King again. Isaac's blood runs colder than an ice bath. Melissa? As in, the same unhinged saintess he fought right before his epic showdown with the gods? Oh no. So not only is he now in the saintess's family, but he's a direct descendant of the one who nearly permabanned him. This is a wild turn of events, folks. His life is officially a certified nightmare quest. Saintess, by the way, was basically the god's ultimate weapon. One goal, delete the Skeleton King. She was a legend, known as the Lion of the Battlefield, the Holy Empire's brightest star. Her power was so bonkers, everyone thought she'd be the one to finally take out the Skeleton King. Seriously OP stats. She had cockroach-level survivability, god-tier power, and somehow she even leveled up with every new generation. She was basically unnerfable. But her nemesis, the Skeleton King, was no pushover. He was absolutely relentless. Despite his brutal rep, he actually never full-on killed a saintess. Why? Because he knew if one died, the gods would just respawn an even more OP version. Total waste of time and effort. But that last one, Melissa? She was built different, and now she's his actual ancestor. This is just rich. As if reading Isaac's mind, Relay smiles down at him. The saintess, he says, lives only to destroy the Skeleton King. Yikes. He then proclaims that Eshua is a super proud family, strong enough to protect the kid and execute the god's will. Big flex. Another knight dramatically chimes in about countless saintesses being martyred by the Skeleton King. Isaac internally fumes. Bro, I didn't kill a single one. The knight keeps spinning these wild stories of their deaths. Isaac mentally fact-checks them all. The one who died in the labyrinth? Not his fault they're bad at directions. Those 5 who died of stress should have just gone to a hospital for real. Relai tries to soothe the now fussy baby, saying it's fine even if he's cursed, but Isaac is absolutely not okay with this whole situation. Lifting him into the air, Relai says they're thankful he's here. They only have one simple wish for him. Just don't grow up to be like that terrible Skeleton King. The irony here is so ridiculously thick, you could use it to farm some serious loot. His clueless parents, Isaac can only think, my bad, I'm actually a pretty problematic guy. The Emperor makes one final plea, mentioning it's been 150 years since the Skeleton King was sealed. Isaac does the quick math. Melissa should be long gone by now. right? She was like 50 when they last fought. The Emperor argues that with demons getting buffed, the Saint is a critical asset for the entire empire, not just one house. Then he drops another secret. Isaac's mom, who is also a Saintess, birthed him a year ago and then vanished with his dad. What in the world is going on? Boom, another bombshell. My mother was the Saintess? Isaac is losing it. Relai quickly retorts that the matriarch of Eshua is still around and totally capable of protecting him. Isaac can barely process all this family lore. Then a knight casually mentions Dame Melissa is currently out hunting the Skeleton King's minions. Hold up, she's alive? Isaac is absolutely spiraling. She's over 200 years old? How is she still grinding? He's beyond terrified. If Melissa finds out his true identity, he's getting insta-killed. He has to escape this toxic family, ASAP. With newfound urgency, Isaac reaches out and grabs the Emperor's finger. Time to activate his secret weapon. He flashes his most adorable high-level baby smile, silently begging, "Please, take me with you, my friend." And guess what? It totally works. The Emperor is completely captivated, 100% smitten. GG, Isaac triumphantly holds the baby up to Relai. See, he wants to come with me. Baby 1, Relai 0. Meanwhile, under the cover of a seriously dark night, some robed figures were having a super secret meeting in the shadows. Their leader was feeling pretty smug, confident they'd still have tons of chances to strike the royal palace, even if the Emperor took the baby Saint. Their vow was chillingly clear. This time, the baby wouldn't survive. Like for real. Fast forward a bit. Sunlight was streaming, and a gentle carriage rattle signaled a brand new day. And guess where our dear MC was headed? Straight to Ishua, my friends. Our guy was totally miserable, just wondering why his life had suddenly become a hot mess. See, just a few days back, Emperor Alexander was chilling with Isaac when the baby just exploded in a blinding holy light. Relai tried to argue that Ishua was no place for a baby. The Emperor replies with, "You must think that we are a house that only houses manacores and the corpses of demons." But Isaac was too busy freaking out, recognizing that weird light as the ultra-rare survival origin. And then Relai pulls out the ultimate family heirloom, the actual, perfectly preserved body of the Skeleton King. Isaac was absolutely floored, yelling in his head, "My body? You guys had it all along? Why didn't you just lead with that?" So with this new intel, Isaac totally pivoted, going full baby charm mode, pointing and babbling to beg for a trip to Eshua. That cuteness attack was super effective. Relai was left a flustered, blushing mess, totally nerfed by the baby charm. Back in the present, Isaac realized this trip to Eshua was a necessary sacrifice to get his original body back. He needed that body to fight the gods, obviously. With it becoming a rank 10 powerhouse would be a total cakewalk. He also figured out that Relai's insane survival origin power meant staying with him was his absolute best shot at, well, surviving. Inside the carriage, one of the knights casually asked Relai why the holy forces were still dead set on targeting this baby. Relai spilled the tea. A divine prophecy said the saint would be adopted as a son of a god, totally destined to become the next pope. Isaac was absolutely flabbergasted. What in the world is even happening here? He thought. For context, folks, the Pope is like the absolute strongest cleric, rocking rank 10 holy spells and power that rivals even the emperors. Isaac finally got it. House Burritt had held the papacy for millennia. Another house getting a pope would totally shatter their power, explaining everyone's desperation. Suddenly, the carriage slammed to a halt. Uh-oh. A dude ran up to the carriage reporting to Relai they'd hit the duchy, but, surprise, had run into a problem. Their path totally blocked by 3 guards who were just not letting them through. Period. Our angsty guardian was absolutely seeing red. "You dare," he roared, "do you not recognize the insignia of House Eshua?" But one guard just flashes some seriously sharp fangs. "Of course we aren't letting you enter," he sneered. Then, plot twist, the guards transformed, revealing they were actually demons, totally obsessed with killing the child with the saintess's blood. Isaac was straight up stunned. He'd specifically banned demons from attacking human territory. He could only assume a new demon king had taken charge. The head demon confirmed his worst fears, announcing their king had ordered all saints and saintesses to be taken out. Yikes. But then came the ultimate troll move. The demon declared they were acting under the command of none other than the great Skeleton King, Lord Isaac. Isaac silently fumed as these demons tried to bargain with the knights using his actual name. "When did I ever tell you to do that?" he raged internally. Before the demons could even finish their spiel, a flash of blue energy incinerated one of them instantly. Relai Yeshua stepped out, sword drawn. "You dare speak such nonsense in front of me," he thundered. "You won't be dying an easy death." He declared, for the sake of protecting the whole world, House Ishua would personally destroy all evil. With a powerful battle cry, Relai and his knights charged, ready to chase these demons to the furthest depths of whatever. Relai was out there cursing the wicked Skeleton King, thinking he sent his own guys to die just to escape mortality. So much drama. The demons, totally misinformed, charged right back, screaming, "Do not insult our Skeleton King Isaac. Everything is for his revival." The knight holding Isaac apologizes for the rough handling and takes him someplace else. Safety first, folks. He whisked Isaac to the edge of the woods for safety. telling him to just chill there. Then the knight cast a spell, wrapping Izak in a super powerful protection barrier before jumping back into the fray. Izak checked out his temporary prison. Impressive for sure, strong enough to stop high-ranking demons. But also, nothing could get out. Nice. Perfect. Time to make his move. Obviously. Survival origin activate unleash magic, he commanded. Izak started chanting some ancient incantation, calling forth an old servant. Whisper, the observing one. A shadowy creature with glowing red eyes materialized, looking absolutely stoked to see its master again. Izak quickly shushed the creature, telling Whisper it had been a minute but they needed to be super discreet right now. Whisper. Izak's sentient detection magic was totally thrilled to be back, thinking it had been destroyed with its master. Big relief, I guess. Things got a little weird when Whisper congratulated him on mercilessly stealing the body of an infant. Izak cut off Whisper's rant about dirty divine jerks, getting straight to business. Just look for enemies, he commanded. Whisper's eyes glowed, initiating enemy detection. A wave of magic pulsed out with a 100-meter radius. Radar online. Detected 88 demons. Izak was legit shocked, thinking these guys were definitely trying to start a full-blown war. Realizing this was way too big for House Ishua to just ignore, he decided to deal with the demons himself, even if it drained all his mana. Welp. But before he could even act, Whisper dropped a surprising update. The enemy count had already plummeted to 51. The numbers kept tanking 31 then 13 as the Ishuan Knights absolutely shredded the demon forces. Just as the numbers hit 4, a demon greets Whisper, telling him to work with the demon squad. He started screaming, "We will kill that saint today. Glory to the Skeleton King," before getting violently sliced. Oopsie. The remaining Ishuan Knights just stared, totally stunned, and probably confused by that weird ending. Inside his barrier, Izak was panting hard from the exertion. Whisper calmly confirmed, "No enemy forces left, my lord." But just as they started to chill, Whisper detected a new, seriously powerful threat, a shadow lich. The lich's voice echoed with pure menace, "You who dare to touch my king with your dirty hands." This terrifying shadow lich then finished its threat, roaring that they'd all pay with their lives. Talk about a bad time. Meanwhile, Izak was absolutely dumbfounded, thinking, what's up with this guy? Things are just getting started. His freshly spawned shadow lich, oh, it's absolutely furious. Legit raging that its one true master is stuck in a squishy baby body. It glares at the Eshua Knights, screaming a whole threat. Don't even look at the kid with those gross eyes. I'll legit rip them from your skulls. Maybe Izak internally sighs. Welp, this overzealous creep just figured out he's the actual Skeleton King. Big yikes. As Relai preps his knights for battle, Izak starts full-on panicking. He's babbling, trying to warn the lich not to touch his mana core, aka his entire lifeline. A knight tries to calm the baby down, but the lich totally misreads Izak's babbling. It thinks Izak actually recognizes it. Awkward. "I'm coming, my master," the lich yells, zipping past the knights. It makes a total beeline straight for the baby. Stand culture is wild. As the lich barrels toward him, Izak decides to use this fanatic for some quick utility. He mentally orders it to break the protective barrier. Work smart, not hard. The lich happily obliges. "I have received your order," it roars. Its arm transforms into a shadowy blade, shattering the barrier into dust. The knights cry out in alarm as the barrier shatters. Relay screams Izak's name, but the baby is perfectly fine. "Chill out, dude." Held aloft by the lich's shadow tendrils, Izak gives a little baby gurgle. Apparently this translates to good work, classic Izak. But then Izak tells it to knock it off and get some rest. The lich, utterly confused and heartbroken, can only scream, "Master?" With a final agonizing "Why?" The lich is completely obliterated. Poof, gone. Thanks to a wave of Izak's raw power, Relai and his men are stunned. Bro wonders aloud if the baby just like totemized a demon. Wild flex. The guy totally loses it, cheering that Izak totemized a demonkin on his very first try. That's a holy spell usually reserved for a saintess or a cardinal. You know? Relai stays skeptical, sensing zero holy power. But the enthusiastic knight argues the lich clearly sensed a threat. That attack proves Izak's worth. Period. "Our young master is just that great," the knight declares. Positive Izak is the saint. Relai can't deny the kid is special. Still, Relai can't shake his concern. But why did it have to be a young boy, he wonders, his expression hardening. Uh-oh, plot twist incoming. The knight proudly declares his intention to protect Izak's future. After a moment, Relai has a change of heart. He admits he was being foolish. Character development speedrun. He was only afraid of the Skeleton King's curse, but now he sees Izak will bring glory to their house. Taking the baby, he grins, "Let's go home, Izak." He tells the baby he has insane talent, destined to be an incredible holy knight. Izak is cool with that. He just wants his original body back anyway. But Izak's world comes crashing down. Relai adds, "And even if you don't live very long, I'll save you no matter the cost." Wait, what? Hold up. Why did that sound like a death flag? Izak tries to protest, but Relai just thinks he's hyped. The first lesson, cursing the Skeleton King. Brutal. "Ooh, you Joshua jerks," Izak thinks, completely resigned to his fate. This is going to be a long ride. Their carriage pulls up to the ridiculously massive, opulent Joshua Duchy estate. This place is basically a real-life meme coin mansion. Peeking out the window, Izak fumes at how rich these demon-slaying people are. He flashes back to when he struggled to feed his own empire. Unfair much? Whisper notes that just one of those statues could buy 10 Demon King castles. I know, so shut up. Izak grumbles, still salty. Rely welcomes the baby to the Joshua residence. This is literally where monster slaying and exorcism began on the whole continent. Big legacy, I guess. Rely looks outside. Look at that. Once you grow older, you'll be just like those kids. Oh, the foreshadowing. They're all screaming, "Die, Skeleton King," as they savagely beat a training dummy. A dummy made in his likeness. Yikes. The kids keep stabbing and cursing the dummy. Rely just laughs, super proud. Izak, meanwhile, is sweating, thinking, is this entire family a bunch of zealots? Izak decides it doesn't even matter. He'll just infiltrate the Holy Empire, burn the Emperor alive, and rebuild this whole place as the Izak Empire. Big plans, little dude. Whisper calls him petty for getting mad at children playing. Izak just tells it to shut up and scout the area. Priorities, Whisper. Whisper happily agrees and scans the area. Immediately, it finds dozens of mana cores embedded in the mansion itself. Loot alert. Awesome, Izak thinks, practically drooling. He's never seen so many in one place. How many demonkin did these guys farm anyway? As the carriage stops, Rely orders a servant to prep his room for Izak, but the servant apologizes. Orders are to take the baby to the annex instead. Oh, what now? Apparently, the fifth young master gave strict orders not to let Izak in the main building. Rely is absolutely ticked. Drama alert, Rely sighs about his brother's pettiness. Izak wonders why he has to go to the annex. Then Whisper excitedly points out, that's where all the mana cores are, my lord. Rely declares he won't let his nephew stay in some haunted annex. Izak immediately starts babbling, desperately trying to say he actually wants to go there. Free loot. Rely just thinks he's excited for bedtime stories about killing him. Do you want to kill me? Izak thinks in horror. His family is something else. Suddenly, a super condescending voice cuts in. Why are you making a fuss over picking up some homeless child? Rude much? He asks why Rely is going against his own brother after being away for so long. Major beef, apparently. It's the fifth son of the Joshua family. Go well, Joshua. One look at his smug face and Izak knows. This guy's a certified thug. And just like the thug he is, Goel gives a condescending smile. He tells them to put the baby down, sneering that he'll just send Izak to the annex anyway. Rely, absolutely fuming, fires back. This kid's a Joshua descendant. You can't just exile him to the annex, a place for outcasts. Clutching Izak even tighter, Rely declares he'll read him bedtime stories of the Skeleton King's defeat in his own room. But Izak is low-key desperate for that mana-filled annex pronto. Goel just scoffs, pinching the baby's cheek. Seriously, where did you even find this skeleton of a child? He leans in close, sneering, descendant my butt. Izak glares, wondering if this guy is just a certified delinquent. As Rely pulls the baby away, he confronts Goel directly. Do you really think I don't know why you want to send this child to the annex? He accuses Goel of trying to label the kid as cursed just to get him out of contention. That phrase, out of contention, makes Izak's blood run cold. This can't happen. His whole grand scheme, suck the household dry, become the saint, then the pope, and finally get revenge on the gods, is in jeopardy. Goel just grins, saying since a demon already came for the kid, he might as well be cursed already. An Ashua knight immediately leaps to Izak's defense, shouting that the young master banished that demon himself. That proves he has the holy powers of a saint. Goel remains thoroughly unimpressed. How much effort did you put into covering this steaming pile of garbage, he mocks. If you want to call him a saint, show me his stats, bro. Whisper, the cheeky menace, suggests showing off by summoning a meteorite. Izak is not amused, instantly facepalms internally. Like, chill, Whisper. Goel looks into the distance, a smug plan forming on his face. He points to a withered, blackened tree oozing with dark energy. That holy tree died because of a demon's dark mana, he explains. His voice drips with sarcasm. So if he really has what it takes to be a saint, he should be able to revive that easily, shouldn't he? Izak internally groans at these totally extra descendants of Melissa. But then Goel drops a bombshell that gets his attention. Your first son is missing, and your second son is adopted. Izak's eyes widen. Wait, what? Without a word, he grabs the panicking Whisper. With a grunt, he hurls the poor thing towards the dead tree. Go fetch! Rely starts to protest that the tree has been dead for 70 years, but he's cut short by a sudden surge of power. He stares in utter disbelief. The holy tree. A miraculous green light washes over the dead branches. In an instant, the entire tree explodes with vibrant life. Goel and Relay can only stare dumbfounded. Goel mutters that even their most powerful healing and purification magic couldn't save it. Izak just smiles to himself. It was nothing, really. He just had Whisper absorb the dark mana at the roots. Now Whisper's feeling a little bloated. The nearby knight stammers, asking Rely what he did, but Rely, equally stunned, says he didn't do anything. The knight's gaze slowly turns to the baby. Izak lets out a tiny burp, already annoyed he had to waste perfectly good mana on a tree. The Yeshua knights erupt in a massive cheer. Whoa, Lord Izak did it. Goel can only watch, seething with rage. "You insane jerks," he mutters, unable to believe a little brat could accomplish such a feat. Ignoring him, the knights lift Izak into the air like a hero, celebrating his powers of exorcism and now purification. Gawel snaps, immediately turning his rage on Relai. "You must have done this," he accuses, "because of course a baby can't actually do magic, right?" He grabs him by the collar, roaring that Relai must have gotten help from the missing saintess and framed the baby to make him look good. But Relay just points out the obvious flaw. How could he have met the missing saintess? Izak just sighs at the family drama. It's too much. Gawel mutters that Izak doesn't even look like their brother. He'd sooner believe Relai was their great ancestor Melissa in disguise. He then adds that the baby looks almost exactly like the bastard pope. The tea is piping hot. "Don't play dumb," Gawel snarls. "You brought that trash here to be the next saint candidate, knowing we already have one in our house." Izak's eyes light up with understanding. So there's another candidate, and this clown wants them to win. Ah, a rival. This is where the plot gets good. Whisper points out that if such a wicked bro is backing the other candidate, that rival will be super fun to crush. Izak nods. New side quest unlocked. Gawel scoffs at the idea of his first brother, calling him a coward who totally ran away when the family was in danger. But Relai stands firm. "He's our nephew, and the son of our first brother. He has the right to lead this house." Gawel grins cruelly, pointing out that Izak is only a half-blood son of a saintess that they brought in from the outside. Besides, he adds, "Can we really be sure he's our brother's son?" As the argument continues, Izak finally understands. This is why he's being treated like an outcast. What a wonderful life, he thinks. Gawel notes that at least the baby's face takes after his mother's. Some small mercy, maybe. Before Gawel can finish a sentence about selling Izak off, Relai's fist connects solidly with his face. Gawel reels back, screaming, "You insane fool. Did you just hit me?" As the brothers fight, Izak enjoys the show. This family feud is a great way to gather intel, he thinks. The brothers break into an all-out brawl. This is perfect, Izak thinks. A house in chaos will be much easier to take over. He lets out a wicked baby laugh. Whisper brings him back to reality. "Think about it, though. Won't you go down with the house if it falls to ruin?" Izak grumbles and tells him to shut up. Sometime later, Izak sits on a table inside the grand mansion, looking thoroughly annoyed by the whole situation. He's been brought before the family elders, who immediately start complaining. "Tsk, another boy?" one asks. Izak realizes no one in this house is sane, period. Their insults quickly turn to his mother, calling her a peasant witch who birthed a useless son. Izak's fury ignites. "Hey, you crazy bastards, you're going too far." Woman's voice cuts through the chatter, silencing everyone. "We have decided to raise that child in a minor house that is out of the spotlight." She turns her cold gaze on Relai and asks why the child was brought to their land in the first place. Izak instantly knows she's the one behind the plot to send him to the annex. Typical. Gawel, sporting a fresh bruise, snaps at Relai to answer his mother. Now it all clicks for Izak. She's that jerk's mom. Figures. Relai ignores him, coolly observing. "So father isn't here." Henna confirms he's out of town, dealing with the whole Saint candidate's mess. "What a shame," Relai says, not looking very ashamed at all. Big cap. Suddenly a knight bursts in, announcing that Izak, the eldest grandson, has revived the holy tree. Gawel leaps to his feet, screaming that it must be a coincidence. An elder agrees, saying even the patriarch couldn't fix the tree, so a child couldn't possibly have done it. Henna nods in agreement. She smiles a wicked little smile. To begin, there's no evidence. Another elder chimes in, saying that while the tree's revival is a blessing, they can't attribute it to the baby. Izak glares at the whole lot of them. Seriously. Fine. They want proof? Izak raises his tiny hands, and the entire room is engulfed in a massive surge of power. Get ready to be schooled. Swirling vortex of pure blue, holy energy bursts forth from the baby, washing over everyone in the hall. It's giving main event vibes. One of the elders gasps, his face a mask of shock and awe. This energy, it's the energy of the holy tree. With everyone completely stunned by the overwhelming holy power, Izak throws his arms open with a devilish grin. In his mind, he's got just one message for them. You clowns. Yeah, the family elders are absolutely gobsmacked. Bro just hit him with an ultimate ability. One elder pieces it together. The only way Isaac could have yeeted that mana. He gave it a physical form first. Big brain moves. Another elder chimes in. That exorcism method? Super risky. One wrong move and it's game over for the holy tree. Major stakes. Which is exactly why the patriarch chose the safer, slower strat initially. Meanwhile, Gawel is having a full-blown mental breakdown. He cannot believe what his ears are hearing. No cap, he thinks. There's no way a literal newborn just pulled that off. Relai confidently declares Izak must have just instinctively cleansed the mana. Beside him, Izak is thinking, bingo, you got that right, dude. Relai then rubs it in, flexing hard. This baby just did what the entire papacy couldn't accomplish in 70 whole years. Gawel slams his fist down, losing it. He screams at the elders, "Are you seriously buying this absolute cap?" He completely loses his cool, shouting about how the family will be clowned forever for claiming an infant performed an exorcism. He even insults Izak's whole lineage, questioning if he's even a Joshua. Izak, meanwhile, is just casually picking his ear. looking totally unimpressed. Bro's digging for gold. Rayleigh, unfazed, calmly addresses the elders, stating with absolute certainty, this child will become a saint. Period. He might even become the next pope. And Isaac, our resident demon king with a low-key master plan, is like facts. Couldn't agree more, fam. Then Rayleigh gets a little too hyped, lifting Isaac like a trophy and yelling, he will also slay the skeleton king. Isaac's internal thought bubble, hold up, what the heck? The elders are totally fired up by the mention of that vile creature. But Hannah Joshua just smirks. She's thinking Rayleigh is digging his own grave right now. With a confident look, she drops a bombshell. If you're so confident, maybe we should just test him? Sitting down with a sinister smile, she formally requests access to the divine relic storage. Oh, this is about to get spicy. Meanwhile, our POV changes. We're now in the northwestern regions of the Holy Empire, deep within the super ominous dark forest. A blade flashes, slicing clean through the head of a monstrous demon like butter. A silver-haired man stands amidst the carnage, casually observing, yep, this place was a mess too. He surveys the battlefield, which is absolutely littered with the corpses of slain demons. A long-haired knight approaches from behind and kneels, respectfully greeting him as Patriarch. The knight reports that his proxy has requested to use the divine relic storage. Uh-oh, news travels fast. The Patriarch assumes it's the Pope's faction, but the knight quickly clarifies, nope, not them. He explains that the Patriarch's own grandson revived the holy tree, and the proxy wants to test if he truly has those saint qualities. Stunned, the Patriarch demands, what do you even mean? Why would there be a saint in my household? This is Eli Joshua, the OG Patriarch. He coldly refuses, stating that only a saintess has ever survived that place. It's giving death trap vibes. But after a beat, he suddenly changes his mind. Tell them to go ahead, he orders. What a plot twist. Suddenly, a new voice chimes in. Isaac, a woman with long white hair and a military uniform, just materializes. Spooky. It's Melissa Joshua, the scheming matriarch, a former saintess. She smirks, admitting that reviving the holy tree is like legitimately impressive. Melissa then drops a brilliant, totally unhinged idea. Since they're opening the storage anyway, why not throw all the saint and saintess candidates in there? Maybe some random kid from another household takes something good, even though past saintesses have failed. If someone can retrieve a certain item, it could finally be used to track down and delete the Skeleton King for good. With a wicked glint in her eye, she decides they need to put a seriously hefty reward on this bad boy. She orders the knight announce that whoever brings back the best treasure will get a reward even the Pope couldn't dream of. With a crazed, toothy grin, Melissa raises the stakes even higher. She is seriously cooking something up. Tell them we will give them everything, and I myself will teach them the secret technique of the household. Anyway, let's get some lore real quick. The Divine Relic Storage is an ancient vault, basically where secret techniques and divine relics are stashed. Only kids under 10 can enter, so it became this coming-of-age ritual for saintess candidates. They'd pick an item to predict their future powers. Kinda cute, kinda sus. But here's the kicker. The storage is super dangerous. After several candidates died in there, they were like, yeah, no, and sealed it up. Whisper takes over, confidently narrating, let's see. Our little master will totally make it out alive, with treasure obviously. Isaac, chilling in his crib, looks annoyed. Bah. Why are you doing the narrating, dude? Whisper teases that Isaac is excited too, and Isaac enthusiastically agrees. He's thrilled because his original Skeleton King body is supposedly stashed inside. A knight lifts Isaac from his crib, asking if he's excited. He reveals that the matriarch has opened the storage for all candidates, not just the Joshua fam. Children from all 5 renowned households will be there, even the Pope's family. But the knight is like, nah, my young master's got this. Easy dub. Isaac grins. The more players in the game, the bigger the distraction. It'll be that much easier to secure his ultimate loot, his body. Rayleigh playfully holds him upside down, warning him to be careful. The inside of the storage is guarded by literal demons captured from the battlefield. Isaac isn't worried though. If these demons were caught, they're probably like 6th rank or lower. No match for his OP overpower skill. Piffed, but the bomb is dropped. Nope, there are 8th rank demons and even worse, a 9th rank dragon guarding the place. Gulp. Isaac and Whisper are both in total disbelief. Are the Joshua household completely unhinged? A full-on dragon guarding a place where babies are going. Whisper tries to be positive, like, hey, at least you know a lot about dragons. But Isaac just starts sweating nervously. Hard. He remembers his past life, grimly thinking, oh snap, dragons are dangerous in a whole different way. I've scammed a bunch of those guys. A flashback shows massive furious elder dragons roaring. What the heck did you sell to those kids? Even the elder got scammed. That skeleton loser. He scammed like 70 of them. This is majorly bad. Dragons have insane memories, and might just recognize his soul. Yikes. Whisper cheekily suggests it's, a good time to switch masters. Isaac grits his teeth and snaps, I can hear you, dude. This leaves him no choice. He can barely handle 6th rank demons right now, let alone 8th rank demons and a whole dragon. He needs to level up fast. To fight them off, he's gonna need a serious power-up. Like seriously. He needs to literally rob the Joshua household of all their mana cores. With a determined, greedy grin, he makes his decision. To the annex. Time for a heist, boy. Fresh off his epic heist plan, baby Isaac is studying deep within the lavish Joshua duchy. Whisper floats over, totally stressed. Master, you good? Whisper adds, bro, you look like you're about to get yeeted by an exorcist. Isaac internally rages. If only he had holy power, he could literally master the very spells designed to unalive him. Whisper totally freaks. It's convinced Isaac's about to mind control a priest with dark magic, framing the whole Joshua fam as demons. But Isaac just sighs. All this complicated holy magic theory, absolute gibberish to him right now. Suddenly, he's scooped up by Rilai Ashua. Dude, you look wiped, Rilai says. Guess it's been a day. Oh right, Isaac remembers. Baby's gotta clock in 16 hours of sleep a day. Big brain time for a tiny body. As Rilai carries him off, an Ashua knight spies the Holy Magic for Dummies book Isaac left behind. Confused much? In the nursery, Rilai gently places a hand on Isaac's head, casting a holy spell. A warm golden light envelops our baby MVP. It's the regenerate spell. Isaac is beyond hyped. Great, he babbles, hyped. Next, attack spell, Uncle. Meanwhile, a frustrated Whisper tells him to chill. The knight reminds Rilai that Isaac needs to hit the annex soon. Annex. Isaac's brain cell activates the heist. Gotta clear the zone. Isaac immediately faceplants into the crib, pulling the classic fake sleep move. And somehow they totally buy it. Bro sleeps fast. The knight marvels. Rilai agrees. Such an amazing child. Isaac internally screams at their gullibility. The two decide to bounce. Isaac can't help but think what absolute noobs they are, peeking over the crib railing. But wait, just as they're leaving, the knight suggests taking the totem for safety. Isaac's eyes pop open. Hold up. What? Rilai agrees, calling it Isaac's precious first totem. He orders the knight to display Whisper somewhere visible. No, that's not just a totem. That's free mana loot. They can't just take his power source. Looks like there's no choice now. He'll have to go full goblin mode on the Annex mana core. He clambers out of the crib, mission crawl. Whisper is immediately skeptical. Bro, you serious? Crawling all that way? You gonna make it by next week? Isaac confidently tells him he's got a master plan. Just open the door already. Whisper opens the doors, then pauses. Wait, Isaac can't exactly fly. He plummets to the floor with a baby-sized thud, only to find the next door locked and wholly sealed. That concerned uncle just hardcore baby-proofed. He can't just smash it open. Everyone would think it's an attack. He's officially soft-locked. Whisper can't carry him all the way, and using magic would only make this side quest harder. He struggles to his tiny feet, trying to debug this ultra-baby-proofed mansion. Suddenly, the door he's leaning on creaks open. A young boy peeks out, totally jump-scared by a baby. It's Shuri Joshua, Gawel's son, 5 years old, and another saint candidate. He immediately points out Isaac can't even walk yet. So this is his supposed rival? Isaac eyes the blood on Shuri's bandages. Whisper immediately goes full rage mode. Who dared touch my master? Shuri scoffs, big braining. That totem is too advanced for even a genius like him, let alone a mere baby. He conjures a small ball of holy light, showing off. It gets Isaac's attention. All right. With a totally devilish grin, Shuri declares, I'm the one who's gonna be the saint, not you. Meanwhile, Isaac prepares to snatch a training dummy's mace like a boss. With a gleeful, mischievous smile, he shoves it over right on top of the kid. Yup, he found his ride. Genius level play, y'all. Shuri rubs his head, sputtering. Do you even know who I am? Isaac doesn't care. Kid looks just like that delinquent Gawel. Must be his mini-me. Shuri was charging holy mana for an attack, so in Isaac's playbook, that kid deserves a serious beatdown. And then Isaac pummels the older boy. The mercy left the chat instantly. Whisper cheers him on, like a proud hype man. Isaac internally yells, accept your fate, insolent brat. You're my new ride. Shuri winces as a blast of energy erupts. A magical shield pops up, stopping the bottle cold. You think you're so special? Shuri shouts, finally having a defense. Isaac looks on, a little surprised. Shuri immediately boasts, surprised? Nobody my age can use third-rank holy defensive magic. And it's way too soon to be surprised. Shuri grins, powering up for round 2. He unleashes a third-rank holy attack magic, Radiant Holiness. Bro is cooking. Isaac calmly watches the impressive attack, noting Shuri has already double cast it. A slight smile crosses his face. Internally, he's thinking, thanks for the mana meal, fam. The attack dissipates right before impact. Shuri's jaw drops. How's a defensive spell that big? He shrieks, completely shook. Isaac grins. The boy wondered how he even pulled off that spell. Uncle Rilai never taught him. Then Isaac perfectly mimics it, conjuring multiple orbs of radiant holiness. Yeah, he's just built different. He launches them at a terrified Shuri. Thanks for the free tutorial, kid, he thinks. No way, Shuri cries, full-on scrambling backwards. Isaac just points at him, like gotcha. Shuri totally panics, yelling, wait. The orbs of holy magic slam into the ground all around Shuri, narrowly missing him but absolutely destroying the marble floor. Whisper watches the chaos. Master? Killing a Joshua family member, is that chill? Isaac coolly replies, who said I was killing him? Shuri sits amidst the cracked floor, totally unharmed. Huh? He mutters, utterly confused. He leaps to his feet, absolutely furious. You couldn't even hit me. Why'd you scare me like that? He boasts, no attack spell can touch a saint candidate like him. Then he freezes. A dark voice growls, you dare. Try to attack my master? Yeah, it's Whisper, full-on unhinged. Whisper manifests as a towering, terrifying shadow demon. Red eyes glowing, pure murderous intent. A major boss fight energy. You truly wish to be unalived, it bellows, shadowy claws reaching for the boy. Shuri can only whimper in terror, utterly frozen solid with fear. Bro got owned. Just then, a tiny hand pats Whisper's massive, shadowy form. Classic Izak. Izak is chilling casually on the demon's shoulder, looking down at Shuri with a bored expression. What are you even doing, Whisper? He seems to ask. With a wicked grin, he babbles, his true thoughts crystal clear. Carry me, you ride, to the annex. Still frozen solid, Shuri Joshua's mind is buffering hard. He's dreaming of becoming the future saint. Yeah, he'll dip from this cursed family and rise all the way to Pope. Big moves, no cap. But those grand ambitions, they're on hold right now. Because bro is literally giving a piggyback ride to a maniacal baby. Rough life. Izak joyfully babbles, Hiya, to the annex, and Shuri just screams internally and externally. And as if on cue, Whisper pops up. It's chilling threat? Move, or I'll tear you to shreds, bug. Terrified, Shuri's only thought is survival. He's silently begging for a save. Following Izak's chaotic directions, he sprints across the estate grounds. With a demonic glint, Izak growls, you want to die? Get it together. Shuri suddenly skids to a halt. His eyes go wide with horror. He recognizes their destination. It's the Joshua residence' second annex, aka the haunted house. He totally freaks out, screaming, why'd this menace drag me here? People died in there and the patriarch totally forbid entry. But Izak, he's grinning like a maniac. He senses dozens of mana sources inside. Bro, this is a jackpot. Like decades of power grinding right here. Izak whacks Shuri with his new toy. Let's go, brat. But Shuri is too terrified to move. Then Whisper steps in again. Shut up and walk, you mutt, it hisses. Shuri immediately clams up. Someone get popcorn. This is power dynamics in HD. Reluctantly, they step inside the dark, dusty building. Shuri is not having a good time. Izak observes the inside. It's even worse than he expected. As he scans the area, he notices something sus. Whisper confirms his suspicion. The whole building is sealed. Master, every door has a barrier. Shuri sees his chance. Hey, let's just dip, everything's locked in here. Izak's response, he just yanks Shuri's hair. Ouch. Shuri realizes they're headed for a hall lined with past patriarch portraits. He scoffs, thinking Izak wants to be patriarch. Pointless, Shuri declares smugly. The next patriarch is gonna be me. Izak completely ignores him. He smashes his mana-infused toy right into a barrier over a portrait. Shuri screams in horror. Our ancestors. Bro, are you actually crazy? What are you doing to the patriarchs? Izak looks back, annoyed. Why would anyone even barrier a portrait? Fair question. Whisper happily announces the barrier is broken. Izak lets out a triumphant nice. Path clear, Izak hops off Shuri's back. He crawls towards the opening. Shuri is left flabbergasted. Hey, are you crazy? Where are you going after all this? Izak ignores him, entering a room that's a literal treasure trove. He quickly orders, Whisper, lock the door. The heavy doors begin to slam shut. Just before they close, Izak taunts him. A kid like you doesn't need to know. Alone at last, Izak sits in the mana-filled room. Let us begin, he thinks. Outside, Shuri pounds furiously on the door. He's threatening to spill all the tea. I'll tell them everything. You're getting kicked out. Suddenly, a voice calls his name. He turns to see Relay Joshua and other family members approaching. Relay sternly asks, Shuri, what are you even doing here? Before Shuri can tattle, an elderly woman furiously scolds him. You're in the Forbidden Annex, and you brought Izak? Shuri is speechless, the woman continues. Everyone saw you carrying Izak, and traces of holy magic were found in his room. She dumps all the blame on him. Shuri tries to explain. He carried the baby, but it's totally not what it looks like. Relay cuts him off. Shuri, you've gone too far. You've been harassing a toddler. He grabs the boy, demanding, where did you lock Izak? Panicked, Shuri insists he didn't lock him anywhere. He stammers that Izak went inside alone. This shocks all the adults. Relay rushes to the door, calling for Izak. The elders murmur in disbelief. The door creaks open. It reveals Izak, who immediately starts bawling his eyes out. Someone give this baby his Oscar. The adults rush to him, concerned. Geez, one remarks. He looks terrified. Relay scoops him up, relieved. He seems scared, but nothing looks like it happened. He then turns and gives Shuri a look of deep disappointment. The side eye is strong. You should be ashamed of yourself, Shuri. As Relay walks away, Izak gives a little glance back. He gives Shuri a little mental thank you. Bro got played. Then he flashes a massive, sinister grin. I had a nice mana meal thanks to you. Shuri finally snaps, screaming in a fit of pure rage and confusion. This is peak comedy. Meanwhile, Izak is practically vibrating with power. He just gained 100 years worth of training in like 5 minutes. He holds the crystallized mana core, Right, he thinks. With this much mana, I can finally use the plan. Let bro cook. Even after maxing out his mana stats, Izak is back to grinding. He's deep in some ancient docks when Rilai pops in. Rilai gestures to a fresh face, announcing she's Izak's new assistant. A certified babysitter, probably. She's Asili Larke, a holy knight from the Joshua clan. Bet she's strong. As Asili drops into a full kneel, pledging her undying loyalty. Talk about commitment. Izak's spidey sense tingles. He's sure they sent a babysitter to spy on him after his little field trip to the annex. Our tiny menace points a chubby finger, babbling out, "Hey you." Then he unleashes a legendary baby tantrum. He screams for her to despawn from his sight. Both Asili and Rilai are left absolutely shook by this unhinged baby. But plot twist, Asili isn't mad. She turns to the baby blushing like crazy and asks if she can pinch the young master's cheeks. Izak just wonders if everyone in this family needs a debuff. Rilai quickly changes the subject. He announces a gift for his beloved nephew. He opens a plain box, revealing a simple silver ring, giving off serious common item vibes. Izak is totally unimpressed. Did Rilai loot this from a dumpster? Even Whisper thinks the Joshua house is broke, but Asili gasps, "That's the Saintess heirloom. No cap." Rilai grins, patting Izak's head. He snagged this heirloom from the council just for him. Izak is shook. It's real. This isn't a drill. This is the Elder Ring, the OG artifact the Saintesses used to try and dunk on him. The holy power inside is straight up incredible, like A-tier levels. He knows it's a 1 or 2 shot item before it breaks, but Izak grins deviously, already cooking up a fix. He glances up and spots something that confirms his suspicions. Peeking, Goel is radiating pure, unadulterated rage. He's seething. He looks like a walking red alert. A moment later, Goel pulls a fake smile, swapping his murder face for sickly sweet charm. "Oh, how lovely you are," he coos. He asks if his little nephew is vibing. Izak is disgusted. This dude just glitched. Things are getting complicated. Flashback time, Goel reveals his master plan. He broke the relic storage's blessing device to stop Izak, but they gave him the heirloom instead. Bro got outplayed. He even argued with the elders, trying to funnel the heirloom to his son Shuri, but he was shot down. Shuri already got a blessing. Don't be greedy, right? Goel grits his teeth, absolutely seething. His real scheme was to swipe the heirloom while pretending to donate it. He knew no one else understood its true value. Back in the present, Goel scoffs at Rilai's gift, calling it useless. Rilai is appalled he'd disrespect a Saintess's artifact. Goel smirks, claiming he couldn't possibly give his precious nephew such a noob-tier item. He whips out his own gift, a gaudy, glittering ring with blessings from the Sancta Sedes. Very extra. He taunts Rilai, saying this precious item is way better for the relic storage. It's something Rilai could never even touch. But Izak isn't having it. With a powerful nope, get lost, he lands a mighty baby slap right across Goel's face. He snatches the box, declaring it reeked of the Pope's foul stench. Hard pass. And with a mighty heave, he yeets the box right off the balcony. The precious ring soars through the air, accompanied by Goel's pathetic screams. Rilai is absolutely floored. Goel's ring looked 1,000 times more valuable than his own cheap one. Yet, Izak chose his gift. Rilai is legit tearing up. "Izak, my lovely nephew," he cries. He joyfully tosses Izak into the air, promising only the best loot from now on. Asili cheers them on. Meanwhile, Goel's men are frantically diving into the fountain below. Find that ring, or else they'll never find it. Izak reveals he cast weight magic on it. Whisper praises his master's commitment to avoiding cursed items. Izak then casually tells Whisper to go collect it at dawn. Easy pickings. After all, he smirks, that thing's worth big mean coins. He'll just sell it. Down below, Goel wails in pure despair. Chef's kiss. Later in his office, Goel slams his fist down. That little brat, he fumes. He's absolutely livid, knowing how much that ring cost him. He eventually cools down, figuring the baby can't even activate the Elder Ring anyway. Copium. His associate agrees, explaining that to use it, Izak needs holy power from 20 people. Totally impossible for a baby. Goel smirks, wondering if 10 people will even show up for Izak's first birthday. Bet. The next day, the estate is absolutely swarming with people, like a whole guild raid. Asili is amazed. 148 saint candidates and 4,000 nobles and servants. What a crowd. She excitedly tells a sleepy Izak that everyone is here. Ducal families, marquise families, even the emperor. Max-level prestige. Izak is just annoyed. He figures the lazy gods randomly spawn saint candidates everywhere. Typical. Rilai is also surprised. He expected everyone to think it was a trap and bail. This turnout is sus. Suddenly, a booming voice yells, "Of course it's not a trap. What are we, noobs?" A cheerful man in a white coat appears. It's Count Simon Age, Merchant Union head, aka Rilai's best friend. He made an entrance. Rilai is shocked, but Simon says the event rumors went viral. He had to show up. He laughs, explaining that if even the weakling boys of the Joshua house are here, it must be safe. Low bar, folks. Plus, with what the Joshua household head put on the line, who could miss this? Even the Pope's family is attending. Izak perks up. What exactly is the rare loot on the line here? Rilai scoffs. The unfriendly Pope's family would never show in Joshua territory. They gatekeep commoners. Simon loudly argues his son Armon is a saint candidate, so he's got every right to be here. Pope's family needs to chill. Relai tries to hit the mute button on him, but Simon dismisses the warning. A cold voice cuts in from the doorway, quoting an old saying, "Nothing is as dangerous as a vulgar friend." A tall, sinister man with long hair steps in. He declares that ancient wisdom is never wrong. Such a drama king. Simon and Relai both freeze. Their faces are pale with pure fear and shock. Major jump scare. This newcomer is Bishop Barrett. He's rocking a terrifyingly smug grin, like he just leveled up. He walks past them, sneering about the weak Joshua household hosting this event. He hopes their infant can somehow clutch for the family. He glances over his shoulder, adding he was curious to see the kid who dared to be a saint candidate, but he doesn't even see him. Azili instinctively grips Izek tighter, glaring daggers at the bishop. "Don't touch the baby." The bishop's smile widens. "Well, it is an opportunity for you, nonetheless." He places a hand over his heart, offering a chilling, totally fake prayer. He hopes the saint candidate can raise the family name. Yeah, right. A sudden chill hits Relai. Is this entire event a political trap set by the Sancta Sedes? That's mega sus. He realizes the saint candidates went from 25 to over 148 in 1 week. That's a massive nerf to Izuk. The Holy Authority is clearly ignoring this. They're letting any family throw in a candidate. Max Chaos unlocked. Relai clenches his fist tightly. The horrifying truth dawns on him. This is bad. In this competitive chaos, a rival could easily orchestrate an accident to harm Izuk. It's giving death game. He concludes grimly. Izuk is in incredible danger. Our baby Chad, however, just looks bored, picking his own nose. He's totally unfazed. That's a wrap on this recap. Hit that subscribe button to help us keep pumping out awesome content. Catch you in the next one.